Hejdå! Hey guys, High Coast Runner, out running again. It's been a while. I've had a few short runs this week, actually 2. I felt like I needed to take a break from running and do some other stuff. So I went for some cross training instead. Went to the gym to do some core stuff, and then the other day I was swimming, and yeah, I found some good exercises that I can use while swimming to strengthen my core. After that, my body sort of collapsed, and I guess it's not that odd, since I've been training for 6 months, almost every other day. I mean, when I go to work 5 days a week, I'm walking 5k in total to and from work, and then at work I'm walking probably something in between 3 and 5 kilometers at work. And yeah, I guess if you add all the proper training that I've been doing on top of that, sooner or later you're gonna get injured or you're gonna hit the wall. And I did that. I just needed a break, so I took two days off because I became ill. My system just shut down, but that was 2 days ago. And now I'm fine. All of a sudden. It's kind of weird. But what I'm guessing is that I just needed some proper sleep, because I've been cheating on that front as well. Some of you guys have asked me what kind of training I'm doing. And basically I don't have a training plan. I just run whatever I feel like running. And that can be good and bad. Mostly bad though. I believe that you need to have a training plan, but I've been trying to stick to 1 tempo run a week, 1 longer run, and then 1 technical run on the mountain. But basically what often happens is that my tempo run gets swapped for a technical run, so I end up having 2 technical runs in 1 week and then 1 long run, and that's knackering. So yeah, about training. Today I'm out running, and I'm gonna do something like 5k max, and I'm running on a easy patch of trail that the municipality of Övik has prepared for us who want to get out and get fit and do exercise. And it's reasonably flat. It has some elevation, but it's not more than 30 meters of altitude. What I might do is that on the second lap I might extend the lap and go up the mountain on a proper trail, just 1 small loop up, to just wake up my legs and let them feel it. Because running on the flats like this, that's no problem for my legs. I'm used to running uphill and downhill, so this is easy mode. But yeah, about training, I've been following some running channels, and I've been taking up their advice, mainly the VO2 Max Productions. I recommend you guys to check it out, and I'll put the link in the video description below if you want to check it out. That guy, his name is Sage Kennedy, and he's one of the best ultra runners in the world. And what he does is that he put out everything, all his knowledge about running. He used to be a marathon competitive runner, but then he just transitioned into trails, and now he's an ultra runner instead. And he's going to run the UTMB later on this summer, and that is the Ultra Trail Mont Blanc, which is a monster of a race, one of the hardest ultra trail races you can run in the world. And yeah, his training and my training aren't alike at all, but I can use what he knows for my own training, since this is only my, yeah, it's getting into the third year of running, so I can use the wisdom of a guy who's been living the running life for the last, I don't know, 10-15 years. If you want some tips and advice on running, building up distance, and yeah, random training tips, you should go check out his channel, because it's great. And I'm just trying to follow his words, trying to build up distance by 10% at the maximum every week. Recently I've been looking at the video of his. It's called Overtraining and Symptoms of Overtraining, since I was kind of wondering, how long can you run hard if you're not trained, and take it until you collapse? And in my case, whoa, it seems like the border is about 6 months. Obviously next time there's going to be a lot more before I hit the wall. Taking it easy, since I've been sort of feeling the shin splints again after my long run 2 weeks ago, the last video that I posted. I guess you need some proper recovery from a run like that if you're an amateur. I mean, I've been looking at these pros, and they can run a run like that 2 times a day, but my fitness isn't even close to that, so I need to know my limits and just keep on building up endurance and see how far we go with this thing. My goals with my training stretch beyond Höga Kusten Trail Marathon. That's in September, but in something like, let's say, 2 years, I would like to be, or perhaps in 3 years, I would like to be up and at the kind of level of fitness that I'll have a shot at the Höga Kusten Ultra short distance, which is 76 kilometers. That's a tough race, but it's doable if I train properly. Probably I can get it done within 2 years if I train. And it's a small race, and you have the options to run either 76 kilometers or 126, and that's the full length from the Höga Kusten bridge, the High Coast bridge, to Örnsköldsvik, my hometown. So that's 126 kilometers. And this summer, me and my girlfriend are planning to hike that distance. It's going to be interesting, and I'll bring the camera with me, so that's going to be cool and interesting. That gives me a real good chance of taking a look at the whole race course. I've been to some parts of it before, but yeah, you know, it's kind of cool to see the whole thing and to see what kind of environment you have to run through if you go in for the ultra distance in that race. Look at this. Spring is here, and we're getting leaves on the trees now, although the grass is still yellow at some places. There are some lawns that have started to become green as well, so it's all good up here in the high coast. And the training continues. I'm stoked on the race and to see how it's gonna be like in 2 months. It's gonna be a while until then, and I'll have a lot of running to do before that. So yeah, one more thing about running and training for a race. I do think that you'll benefit a lot if you get the runner's watch with a heartbeat meter. It allows you to run after your heart rate, and that, in my opinion, is a better way to listen to your body than to run a certain pace every kilometer or so. That way you can see on which level of exhaustion you're actually at, and how hard you're pushing your body. I wished I would have gotten a clock like this before, because by looking at my data that I've been collecting now during the last few months, it becomes all too clear that during my first 2 years as a runner, I was running way too hard, and I'm still is to a certain degree, so I need to be taking it a bit more easy on myself. And the second advice is that if you're training for a trail race like I am, of course it's a good thing to run on paved roads and stuff, and build up some basic fitness if you want to do that. But sooner or later, and it's better if you do it sooner actually, you will want to start running on the kind of terrain that your race will be held on. Like I am at the moment, I'm running on mountain trails because that's what we're gonna run on during the race, and I've been doing so for the last 4 months or 5 months. And what that does is that it gives my body proper time to adjust and build up the muscle strength it wants, or it needs, to be able to get through that race without getting injured. Now, that doesn't make sure that I'm not gonna get injured. It's just I don't know, decreases the probability that I will get injured during the race. I've been reading up on some blogs from the Höga Kusten marathon trail race, and what does happen to most of the people that comes there is that they've trained on a totally different environment, or totally different trail conditions, and they've been running on trails that consist of gravel basically, and then they come to Höga Kusten up to the Skule National Park and they participate in the race, and the race is just stones and roots with a few kilometers of gravel run on roads, and they become injured within the first 50% of the race, and they ends up getting a DNF, and then they come back the next year better prepared and they get through the whole thing. So that's my basic advice for preparing for a race. If you are going to participate in a race, run on the kind of terrain that the race will be held on. and prepare yourself thoroughly for the race, because you're gonna need it and your legs are gonna need it. And if you don't, and you come to a mountain trail race, your knees will give up, especially going downhill, because downhill in mountainous terrain is a killer for your legs, and I haven't properly adjusted for that yet. I need to work on that kind of fitness in my legs, so that's why I'm going to a steep downhill trail here just around this bend. It used to be, or during winter time, it's a cross-country ski trail, like you can see there on the signs, and it's quite steep, so I need to be running here often, or more often rather, to build up my fitness. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys around.